Hey there, Jared Jones. So it's time to go to the marketplace and you are getting ready to price your home and you want to make sure you're set up for getting the most back from the market that you possibly can. That's what we're talking about today. Hi, this is Jared Jones, broker, owner of Jones Group Real Estate. Today I'm sharing with you all the tips and tricks that you need. Probably going to share some things that you've never heard from a real estate broker before on how to price your home effectively. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to give you a quick exercise to understand how a buyer sees your home, because oftentimes you have your seller hat on and you get focused on the wrong end of pricing and doing it effectively. When what you really want to understand is that pricing doesn't equal what you make for your house. The asking price is a function of the marketing. It's a function of how many buyers you attach to your house and bring to the table in the advertising of your home. Don't think of it in the traditional sense. Most sellers think price I set equals what I make. That's not how it works at all. Price you set affects marketing. Here's an example. I'm going to show you now on screen 2 ways that buyers will see a home based on pricing method. So pricing method number 1, we're going to call the wiggle room price. So pricing method number 1 right now, it is the idea of, okay, all the homes have sold in my area for $500,000. I'm going to list mine $50,000 over what they've been selling for. We call that wiggle room, or the idea that I'm going to throw it way up high and come down. The second model I'm going to show you is called auction effect. An auction effect is a different model where you actually price the home to where you attract maximum attention during prime time. So let's look at this really quick. Because remember, you think price set, I'm looking at my home, this is what it is. You think about just your home, but in reality, you need to understand the outside marketing effect, and here it goes right now. So imagine you're looking on the screen and you're a buyer and you're on Zillow and you're like, oh, here's house number 1. Cool, I like it. Here's house number 2. Ooh, I like it. Here's house number 3. Your house, wiggle room priced. Ugh, here's house number 4. How did that house attract the buyer? Now let's look at another example. Here's the idea of auction style pricing. The buyer is in this price range of $450. House number 1, wow. House number 2, wow. House number 3, whoa. House number 4, back to house number 3. The agent gets a call, let's go see that house. And every buyer wants to come see it all the way up to $500,000. I mean, everybody inside that price range and beyond come to the house. Now, let's step this back. The buyers on house number 1 are constantly, week in, week out, rejecting that house. They're not coming for it. They're not interested. House number 2, under that theme, there's a bunch of interest. There's a bunch of attraction. And what's going to happen? It's going to bid up. Now you might say to yourself, okay, Jared, walk me through this. Okay, my house is worth $500. You said that person might price it at $450 or $475. Yes, that is something that savvy sellers do. They want to meet the most demand for their home in prime time. What they understand is I'm going to price my home below the market to really push the market. And even at the end of the day, if something doesn't work the way I want, I don't have to accept an offer below market value. It's the idea that what my price is doesn't equal what I sell for. The other thing that sellers often don't understand is that there's a prime time zone for every home on the market, okay? There's what you call prime time traffic. Prime time traffic is the honeymoon period for any listing. So every time a house hits the market, depending on that particular subdivision, where your house is, the features it has, and how much interest there is and how many available homes there are in that exact marketplace, there might be a situation where it's extraordinarily tight. And your rep, your Jones Group rep, is going to be able to tell you and give you a scorecard to exactly what's going on in the market at a given time. That, hey, Mr. Smith, there is nothing for sale. We're going to have immediate attention of the market. In that case, in a market like that, you can price it at and even above comps and be fine. But you do not want to go more than 2 or 3% over the last comparables unless you have major mitigating factors that the market will find valuable. So that's the thing I want to describe for you. The other thing too is prime time may not be the same for every sale. You might have a home that's urban, high demand, it's going to sell very fast. And prime time period is very short, which means you do not want to have your home on the market for 2 months if you have a prime time period of 2 to 3 weeks, because after 2 to 3 weeks, the market's going to scratch their head and look at your house and say, what's wrong with it? Why is it still here? And so many people miss the opportunity to get their home in and out of the market during prime time. Here's the other thing. You might have a luxury home, or you might have a home that's rural. And in those situations, your prime time period might actually be 4 months or 3 months or 2 months, meaning there's very low demand. There might be a lot of homes for sale, and you might have neighbors that have taken a year to sell. So that if you're in and out of the market in 3 months, you're considering it a huge win. Now, most sellers kind of know where they are in these situations, but our rep will be able to tell you how much market demand there is and how fast it's going to sell. Let me share one more key fact with you that you need to know about. There's a huge spike of sale velocity, of market demand that you have during prime time that you do not experience any other time. Here's the benefit of that. There's a period of time where you as a seller can stretch the market in your favor irrationally so, where coming out of the gates in the first 10 days, they see it, they love it, they pay a crazy number because there really hasn't been other buyers. It's not been on the market too long. They don't know what anybody else is willing to pay, and so they just come in strong. Now, if you miss prime time, then the buyers on the outside of that window know that you've been on the market too long, and then they start doing self-preservation moves. So instead of coming at you with high force and high velocity, getting really aggressive with their offering, they get very risk averse and they get more concerned that they're not going to overpay for the house, or they get concerned with what's wrong with this property. These are the things that culminate into a painful process. Missing prime time, think about this. You go over the time frame longer than market average when you don't necessarily need to be. You may not sell for more than you would have during prime time. And then thirdly, you're still prepping your home. You're leaving for work, putting everything away, knowing a showing is going to happen in the afternoon and you got to get everything ready. And all of that is not fun. Okay, it's not fun for anybody. So if you're doing it right and getting your home really ready for a showing, it just takes time. With all that said, it's best to come out of the gates with a strong plan that meets the market. And keep in mind too, the agent that you're working with, our team, we work together on looking these houses over before they hit the market and making sure we do price them well. There's times where we're going to err in the side of wanting to preserve as much value as we can, and we're going to price a little high, and that will push the numbers. And what I'm saying is be willing to make adjustments when they're needed, because a lot of times, we'll read the market and the market will shift. The market might be going up, but then it can turn on us. And so, be prepared that if we need to make adjustments that they may need to happen. We'll never be behind the curve on that as a goal. So as a team, we're going to be in front of that, constantly doing monthly updates to watch the market and have you fully educated on the process as we go. That's it. Hope you have phenomenal selling experience. Appreciate the opportunity to sell your home. And do us a favor. Please give us 5-star reviews. Give them early, give them late, whenever, on Facebook, Google, Yelp, any of those categories where you can give us feedback. We want to hear it. It's huge currency for us. Tell a friend, refer us if you're enjoying the savings or enjoying the service you're getting. And we're so thankful for your business. Thank you on behalf of myself, our team. We look forward to getting you on your way to your next home. Take care.
Buying or selling a home in Central Florida is expensive. The Jones Group leverages the latest technology and passes the savings on to you. List your home for just 1%. Buying a home, get $7,000 cash rebate before close. Make one call, that's all. Better service, lower fees.